My wedding dress is gathering dust in the basement, but my ass is forever, Gino.
Hello, this is Captain Poodle speaking. Are you ready to find love?
Yes, ahoy, matey.
Love. Exciting and new. Go online. They're catfishing you.
Shocker.
Fiancé.
Soon you'll be flying to parts unknown.
90-day Beyonce.
Marrying someone you only met on your phone.
Be they French or Chinese, a brand new K1 visa's the key.
Ooh, the key to what, Poodle?
To love.
It's reality, yes, let's
love. And another classic quote added to the canon. Ass is forever.
Ass is forever.
It is. It really is.
It really is forever and ever, forever, ever?
Forever.
Forever, ever? Y'all,
This is reality, guys.
that is Poodle screaming at you on the mic, and this is Maddie screaming at you on this mic.
like a bullhorn.
This is the
Like
90
Mars
Day.
Attacks.
Yeah. I've never seen that movie. It looks scary.
It's not scary.
It's
By the
not?
way, you're really alone on an island with having never seen Braveheart.
Oh, I know it. I know. But now I can't because he's a terrible piece of shit.
I know you can't. No, you can't watch it. You can't. The time has passed.
Yeah.
You just have to live. I think you're fine living without it. But there was a time where people were seeing that movie like 4 and 5 times over. Like there was
It's a
Like-
good, yeah, that's where I know. But now, I mean, I guess if somebody owned a DVD, so I put
No,
it in a
you can't watch
DVD
it.
player,
you can't watch it.
I just don't want to do anything that's going to give him money for
Yeah.
that.
I agree with you.
It's past. It's fine.
It just is. It's one of those movies. It's like when someone says they've never seen any of the Star Wars movies, and I say you've actually had to avoid that.
We had a friend who had not
Yeah.
seen any of them
That's
and ended up
active-
marrying someone who is a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah.
So she's seen them now.
They're divorced now. No, they're
No,
not.
no.
They're
They're
together.
happily married. And they watch them together, and it's a very happy thing. Don't say that about her. That's a good friend. Lord, you don't know your power, witchy.
Oh my
People
God.
are moving out. If you
What if I
can't
did
say
that?
that. You cannot say those
I
things.
can't make really inappropriate jokes anymore because it might happen
Yes.
because of my witch powers.
Yes.
Did we? Oh, no, we already did introduce ourselves. We're trying
Yeah,
to
we
get
did.
better
You
about
were
that.
out-
We've
You're out of
decided,
sorts. After our
we've decided that like we just take this way too casually, and sometimes some people we get new listeners are like, "Who the fuck are these?"
Like
queens?
we've been doing a lot of collabs lately, and we just did the one with Ellen and Joey, but then we also even Brandy and
They
and
were
Julie.
so much more professional than
They
we
were so much more. They were like editing, and they're like, "Welcome to this show," and we're like, "We just press the button and start." So
And I just start talking about how I'm comfortable.
we're trying to be better. We're even for our video people watching this on the what tier is that called?
Video people, smorgasbord.
The smorgasbord tier of
Video
RG
people.
Plus.
People who live in the video.
We're going to be changing up our background next month. Get ready.
We are.
We
How
are.
we're sitting when we're together. This will be the same background when we're
I've decided I'm just going to hire. Can we just hire people to come in and do it and we watch them? Because otherwise it'll never get done. What if it's men in tight shirts who just move things around and you tell them, and then once everything is moved into place, I leave, but the men stay and you do what you want?
I like that plan.
Okay. That's
Especially the part about you leaving.
That's fine. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there.
It's not fit for man nor beast
No.
to what goes on there. No one should see it.
No one should see
Except for paid Piano Cat 77 subscribed listeners.
it. Yes,
There's
exactly.
some sick fucks.
Exactly. If you want to be a subscriber and support our show, or if you want this show that you're listening to, if you're listening on the public feed and you want it commercial free, you can
For your
subscribe.
pleasure.
Yes, RG Plus. There's the $5, $8, and $50 tiers. But
15.
you can 50, yeah, 15, not 50. What could we possibly add to a $50 tier?
I think I would have to show my nipples. Which for $50, y'all, that's fine.
That's fine.
They're nice.
Great. Great. Anyway, go to patreon.com/realitygaze, or you can go to our Supercast.
I already showed my shoulders. Ooh.
It's all in our link tree on our social media, our realitygaze.com, where you can find all that information. Or you can just use Apple subscriptions, and we never know who the fuck you are. But
which is fine.
Which is also fine. We love Apple
Which
subscriptions.
is fine.
Anyway, but you can watch us do this, or you can get it ad-free. There you go. Okay.
We're on tour soon.
Oh, I had to take a break. Doing what? I was like, what are we doing? What?
Month of April and May are going to be us on the road, fucking every possible person we can. Well, that's me anyway.
That's you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm on prep. I got some doxy. We'll see. It's April, May.
Am I gonna have to make you do it? Am I gonna have to like just force you?
I just don't want to like meet somebody up and like just I don't want. If I have another guy call me whole, I just can't do that anymore.
Jesus.
I want to meet. I just want to do old fat. I want to have an affair the old fashioned way. I want to meet at the hotel bar at the lobby of the Biltmore, and I'm sitting there, and he comes over, and he's busy on a work trip, and he's got a busy work meeting tomorrow morning, but he sees me. He comes over.
He comes over and says, "Whole."
No. No, you ruined it. I'm not even telling
you are whole.
You just ruined it. You brought me back to men I've dated. Fine.
Listen. None of that exists anymore. It's Grindr or Snippies or nothing or Armchair or whatever the apps are.
Whatever.
That's what you got to deal with. Suck it. And that's an app.
Suck it. That's an app. We're actually, you said April, May, but we're on tour April, May, and June.
Sorry, yes.
Cities that are still going to be announced, we hope by the mid-March. Charlotte, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Denver, Seattle, and Austin, we hope are coming soon. So
yep. We're talking about it tomorrow.
All right, everybody. So we have some breaking. We're doing this episode on Friday. This is a breaking, or Thursday. Breaking 90-day news. We have a 90-day divorce coming, looming, and actually, someone you met,
someone I met, and they seemed very happy.
Y'all, Gabe and Isabel.
Gabe and Isabel are donezo.
Isabella, yeah, they're donezo. Gabe announced on his YouTube, and I say this because we don't normally cover news, but we need to say things because y'all are going to send it. So we know. I love that. I love that.
I do love that people send us things. It is very kind. It does when we get 45 DMs. But
they don't know. But how would anybody know?
They don't.
You know, it's like that really hot guy on Scruff who gets like all these woofs. He gets like 200 woofs a day.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard.
You do not get 200 woofs a day.
A week.
Yeah. It's so.
Head is the head that wears the crown. It is the head that I give who wears the crown.
Yeah, that's more like it.
I don't get 200. I don't get 200 a week or 200 a month. Yeah.
So on March 23rd, Jake is making me go to this fucking show to meet all you people. So
you can meet me on March 17th or 16th. It's one of those dates. It's on the Indiegogo.
Oh, great! That's when I'm going to have
myself.
That's when I'm going to have my birthday party.
You can do it across the street. Too.
Yeah. Poodle can't come. He's busy. No, but y'all, the Seagull, the show that Jake
Seagull
did.
song. Yeah.
Seagull song, sorry. You always just said Seagull, so it's in my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, something we're very proud of that Poodle is done. So you can support that
We're
Indiegogo
all very
campaign.
proud.
And I will be there, and hopefully
You can
we'll
come
see
see
some
us.
of you there too. Yes.
That's a perk on our Indiegogo campaign. It's in our link tree. There's also, you can donate any amount of money you want to. It's again, I say none of this money is going to me. This is to put up the production and pay the actors, pay the designers, and pay for the space.
There you go.
And this is basically so I can see if the piece matches what I have in my head. Spoiler alert, it won't, but it'll see what I can see what I need to do. So that's very helpful for someone a writer and creator. So
there you go.
I'd love to see you there. Excited. There's some very personal things in this piece. It's a kind of a.
It's about a slut.
That's my other show.
Chekhov wrote a play about a slut.
About a syphilitic sex worker. That's the Cherry Orchard, though.
That's it.
That was her name, Cherry, and her orchard.
Stop it.
Chekhov fans are dying right now because this is. There's not many podcasts you can get Russian theater jokes.
Yeah, Plain Jane would like it, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very personal show for me, and should be really. I'm excited.
You write beautiful music, so
yeah. There's some really cool stuff. The woman who's singing the leads is singing the lead role is singing the fucking shit out of it.
Any of the actors hot? Any hot men?
You might like the older guy.
Ooh, Daddy.
Yeah,
Daddy Seagull.
There's only 2 men in it. This other three women.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
and the other man is young, very young. You're not your type. He's very charismatic, though.
Well, fine. All right, Seeking Sister Wife.
No one's shirtless.
Oh, that's what I was hoping. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Seeking Sister Wife, March 4th. It's coming. We're doing the pod. The first episode's going to be out, so you can try before you buy. And then it's going to jump to our cringe tier. That's our whole enchilada tier on, and so you can get that there on RG Plus for the second installment.
Yeah. If you're unfamiliar with Seeking Sister Wife, it is one of the most special cringe reality shows that's been out in a while. It has an extremely devoted fan base. I highly, highly recommend you check out.
I'm excited.
At least you can kind of skip season 1, although season 1 has some really like fucked up shit in it too. Season 2 is where the show hits its stride. And season 3 was also very good for different reasons, but season 2, holy shit, with the thing with Roberta and Eric and Danielle in Mexico. It's so good.
How many seasons are there?
This is season 4, so there are 3 previous seasons.
Okay.
The only 2 returning couples you need to know are Garrick and Danielle, and the Davises, Nick and Carol and Carol and Carol.
Carol. And
That's a Caribbean I called them. Carol, wow. Carol, and Carol. No City and Natasha, unfortunately.
It looks like
there's a lot of new people.
A lot of new people. So this is actually season 5 we'll be covering.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I thought there might be more. Yeah, there's 4 seasons. So, all right. That's on TLC. So if you want to watch that, you can catch up on Discovery Plus.
You will not be sorry.
Appreciate them.
If you like anything cringe, especially it's polygamy based, it's a must watch for all Sister Wives fans, all cringe tier people. It is a must watch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, must listen. Our Scott Evans interview. Y'all, we had such a great time with Scott Evans, the host of Couple to Thruple and the host of Access Hollywood. Yes, he and Kit are best friends. I asked them because I love them both.
That's not true. He didn't say that.
He did say that.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I think you heard that in your head.
No, he said it. He said, don't you put anything about Scott Evans and Kit hosting together. They're a dynamic duo, and I love them.
All right.
You were just trying to use your witch powers today to just start shit.
I do feel like starting shit.
You know, it's not happening. It's because you haven't.
I just
Get
want to
the-
walk around the city and start shit.
Get the fuck machine out, bitch, because I'm a white wizard and I'm gonna stop you.
Ooh, my magic will stop your magic.
You shall not pass. All right. And I think not with Joey and Ellen. That dropped last week. And then 2 weeks ago, we had we were on Dumb Gay Podcast with Julie and Brandy talking about politics and a lot of great stuff with them.
We've been all over.
Been all over. But let's finish
Been a
this
long
tell-all
way from
show.
Milan to Minsk. Rochelle. This is the second part of the part one of the tell-all. Let's jump in with Ashley and Manuel.
Ashley, do you think this storm was foreshadowing your relationship?
I think it was a good luck charm.
And then
so full of shit.
Manuel's really come about with this bruja witchcraft shit because now he's like all her witchcraft is for good. So
it was
he realized she's a good witch.
Spoiler alert. It was never an issue. We made it an issue at the beginning because it was a good way to get people in. This is editing and this is storyboard. And the funniest thing is if she could have just talked to him about it in a way that he didn't understand culturally, because like witches do bad things. But she doesn't. It's all about energy for her. And that's kind of what she was trying to tell him, but they just couldn't agree on the word witch.
Yeah,
and it was absurd at the end of the day.
Now, I do think something we all can agree on this podcast is sex magic. And Poodle, I would like to give you the floor and Ashley explains.
That's what they call me in college.
There goes sex magic.
You know it, boys.
What would you describe that? Ashley says sex magic is like penis candles, and you can cover a candle with your partner's semen and use herbs. And what is sex magic for you?
Well, sex magic, first of all, is the third album by Piano Cat 77.
Ah,
yes.
Okay.
Didn't
know there's albums now too.
It's a ska. A ska dance pop album. It's just mostly me going, ow, 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 meow, meow, fuck me now, meow, meow, ooh, ooh, fuck me now. I didn't say it was good.
I'm so sorry. I asked this.
It's way too many meows.
A lot of meows. Need more hissing, probably.
Stop. So yes, she says there's a penis candle. She's like, and your partner puts his semen wipes his semen all over it, and then you burn it, and everyone just kind of goes, huh.
And Manuel says, I don't want to talk about private things. And Shaun Robinson says, oh, we do that on this show.
Basically saying, so she's like, I didn't want to do this either. But then in season 3, they started giving me shit like this to say, and now there's no turning back.
Yeah, she's like, Matt Sharp took away my 401k and my pension unless I talk about semen on a candle. So I'm here. I just go to church directly after.
Right. I go to church and ask for a lot of forgiveness.
You
better shut the fuck up.
But yes.
That was funny when and you felt like she'd been wanting to say that for a long time.
For like years.
Do you know what I've had to deal with?
Yes, I would love for her to be like, are you new?
They had to talk about a woman's smell down there on a show. I had to endure that.
I had to ask a woman if her pussy smelled. I had to look at my pastor on Sunday after that. Prayers for Shaun Robinson, y'all. It's not an easy job.
And for someone too who doesn't have a very strong stomach when it comes to this, she's easy to offend. Mm-hmm. She's really went through some shit.
She has, yeah.
So we introduce a clip of them fucking in the bathroom. That doesn't even faze Shaun Robinson at this point.
Oh yeah.
the most interesting thing was, I'm glad that they didn't make her mother and sister watch that. But
No.
Manuel says there's a lot of ways to solve a problem, and this is one of the ones. This is one of the ways that we found that works.
That sounds like poodle
Logic.
explanation. Poodle logic, yes.
Yeah. I that was obviously done. That was a kind of a symbol of their relationship. And I think I think I don't think anyone really wanted to wade in and talk about it, because none of those people on that stage have any business saying anything about someone's communication.
No, speaking of, Rob is so stupid. When Shaun asked the cast if any of them have done that, Rob says, well, I have. I mean, not with Sophie. I'm like, just say no, you idiot. Because then Sophie immediately goes,
Not with me. Not with me.
Rob, not with me. Who'd you do it with, Rob? Did you have sex with someone else, Rob? And she's got that look on her face.
Make her sound like Eliza Doolittle.
That is kind of, though, when she gets really upset. When she gets really upset, though, she's like, no, you don't know. I don't know. Because her lips are plump so much she can't really speak.
She's like her mom that way.
It's true.
So Stacy and Sienna, Ashley's mom and sister, come in. And what's interesting here is Shaun says, so do you like Manuel now? Do you trust him now, really? And she's just right out of the gate says, nope. And Ashley goes, Mom.
She does say mom. It was funny.
Stacy did not come to play. And he's like, Mom, Stacy's
Isn't it ironic that her name is Stacy, but yet she's Ashley's mom? So therefore, she can't be Stacy's mom, but she's got it going on.
There's a joke here, and I don't know where it is. But yeah.
No, I was really just kind of more thinking. I never really got that song. Everybody liked it, and I thought it was bad.
That was in the MILF era, where everyone wanted a MILF. Like Stacy's mom was hot.
Oh God, that makes me wish MILF Manor will come back.
No, that was a
Can you use that for your witch powers, please?
No, I'm not.
Please.
I'm not saying a word about that show.
Oh,
I'd wish it dead.
So Stacy, now, but I'm glad that they bring this up, because if you remember, you weren't as much, but I was really hard. I did not trust him because for the same reasons that it's just been a long season and I kind of forget. And y'all,
also you have zero trust in Ben right now.
That's true. Not just men, people. I don't trust people. But
especially men.
There's a couple of women too. But yeah, but also though, he was, even my issues aside, like for the normal layperson, you weren't triggered by as much. And I honestly don't get it. But because a lot of people were like, he seems shady as fuck. And what I liked about this conversation is I was like Stacy's mom and sister, because in her, I understand what she's saying. Not telling your children that you're coming over, it just felt so shady and so like he was fleeing from something or hiding something.
Yeah.
But then once you actually find out a little more about him, you understand it better.
Yeah,
and it makes sense.
He's a very private person. He doesn't want to bother people with things. And he actually said, it's not that I didn't tell them I was leaving. It's just that we didn't know when it was going to be. And the embassy, there was a delay, a bunch of stuff that really isn't important. And then he couldn't tell his kids.
He couldn't tell his kids.
I'll text them, and like 3 days later, they'll say, hey, Mom was using my phone. So the thing is, what people are putting on him is they're putting on their set of circumstances. And that's when Jasmine said at the end, you don't understand what poverty in Latin America is like.
Yeah, it's a different.
And I think that's what I think I could see it, just because it's not that I knew what his situation was like, but I could see someone from a very proud culture who doesn't want to bother people with what they are. But, and that's why it triggers him when she's got a fucking coffee maker right there, but she buys 4 cups of coffee a day, or her mother brings her a coffee. And he's thinking, and Jasmine said this, he's like, the way his brain works, he's wired, is to say, I feel guilty about that because someone else should be having that money.
Mm-hmm.
And but we're getting ahead of ourselves. But I just want to say, Stacy said, I don't want a grandchild from them. All they do is argue and have sex. And I said, that's pretty succinct. And that's kind of what we saw.
And at the time, she's worried that if he's would he just leave my grandchild? I think that's a fair question to ask.
Yeah. And I think later on, and the sister even says, I worry that he's not going to be the best husband to my sister. And Manuel says, when all this is said and done, I'm so sorry. Mom says, Stacy says again, but when all this is said and done, we're going to have to pick up the pieces. And I wrote down, which they've done many times with many different men she's dated. And so I understand why.
And I will say, I want to say, you actually said the wrong phrase. Her mother actually said actually thought more beautiful phrase. And her mother said,
sorry.
And because you heard what you heard probably, or what Mother Poodle will say, I'll have to pick up. The mom actually said, and I will be there to help her pick up the pieces. Because that's a way more supportive stance I thought that was a lovely way of saying, that's what I do. Like, I'm going to be there for you.
I kind of write in dashes, so I was.
No, I just bring that up because I think it talks about later that I think Ashley's mom has her dramatic moments, but down deep, she seems like a reasonable person.
Yeah, but she's like a lot of Americans, and we are thinking from only our perspective. It's not like the rest of the world who deal with. There, especially if you're European, you deal with people who aren't like you a lot, or it's for America. We just don't have that perspective. We don't put ourselves in the place of the person from another country, and we don't try to understand. And that's one of the big issues with America. And Manuel basically says to all this, and Ashley, just responding to Ashley, she's like, he's always been secretive. It makes me wonder if I know everything. And then maybe Manuel had said this before, maybe he hasn't, but he said, I have financial issues and I need to send money back to my kids. And if I tell her about this, she's going to get overwhelmed and stressed. And I said, that's completely fair.
That's very fair.
Think about it.
Yeah.
We can. And then he said, and then there will be more problems, because that's what he wants. He wants less problems and less drama. And which I would suppose that he's picked the wrong woman for that. But anyway, and then so they're talking about and Ashley says, sometimes we send money and mom tells her, you have some responsibility too to know what we're sending, and you have to take responsibility. And Ashley goes, I didn't know, I don't have children. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing to say.
And I was like, yeah, because the mom says, yeah, you need to be talking about what are my expectations as a wife. And I'm like, that's fair.
But you've heard of children. You know they're expensive.
Yeah. Yes.
And I can't believe that he did not say before they came, we'd have to send money back to my kids. I cannot imagine.
Actually, knowing him, I could tell her. I can't imagine. A part of me can't imagine that, but I could also see him not meaning and like lying to her, but again, just not wanting her to stress about it until he got there.
Yeah.
Like thinking, why? Because he operates from, let me tell you at the 11th hour, so we deal with it then, so we're not dealing with it. So I could see him withholding that from her.
And then we find out that Stacy says, I don't want to be mean, but money is a problem because when they don't send enough money, sometimes she has to call me and I have to send his family money. And I was like, oh, holy Lord, what a mess this is.
It is a mess. And so, and she actually, Stacy goes on to say, she's like, it's not that, and Manuel says, I know she's doing me a favor. She says, it's not about the money. It's about the stress of it and the communication that they don't have.
Yeah.
That's what's worrisome.
And then, and then she's basically saying, then we bring Manuel brings up, it's not about, you talk about, it's not about money. And he says, I know her mother's doing us a huge favor. And that's when they're talking about the coffee thing. And like, you call her spoiled. And the thing about what they're the point that Stacy's making here is he is self-righteous. And that is his biggest flaw. Because he will kind of look down on her about it.
And I don't think this exonerates he has a lot of, he is a secret keeper. And I think he is too, yes, what he's going through, but it feels extreme.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is self-righteous.
And he said, when I see Ashley buying coffee, when she has a coffee maker at home, I thought it was wasteful. And I felt, and he said, he's like, I grew up in a family where we always struggled. I was helping my mom by the time I was like, 5 and 6 years old. And it bothers me. And Jasmine says, and this was Jasmine basically put on her therapist glasses, and that no one could say this. And Jasmine says, I understand what he's talking about, because poverty, you talk about poverty in America. He's like, but Latin America and South America, poverty is real poverty. And she said, sometimes they don't know eating. And she's like, eating is a privilege. And Stacy's face went, oh, this is very different than I thought it was.
Yeah. She said he's never shared that at all. She's like, and he's too
proud.
Empathy.
He's too proud.
And I wrote, did we just solve this today, Shaun Robinson?
Okay, we're keeping going. And then she's like, the way his brain is wired, there's always a lack of something in his house, and he feels guilty that any waste at all, because he didn't anything he lacked, they lacked so much. And then Stacy said, that's a different perspective. And I went, did we just have a whole different moment of a complete epiphany on a tell-all?
I mean, she even takes his hand and said, it's not too much of a bother. You don't have to do this yourself.
He actually gets a little emotional and says, you don't understand. I don't want to be a bother to you. I don't want to, because to him, because of his pride, that's the one thing you can't do. And anyway, and I said, this is a breakthrough brokered by Jasmine. Now put a pin in that, because she's going to lose her fucking mind in about 10 minutes
later. I actually, this makes me really excited to see them on Happily Ever After, because I don't think she has any idea about what his experience of poverty has been like. No. And he has no idea of what it's like to be a Black woman in America.
Very true.
At all. Because that's not where he's from. And so I think I have hope for them, because I think they both genuinely love one another, but holy shit. I think they're a great anthropological study of what people have to work through to try to and they don't really speak. Sissies have said her Spanish isn't great. I don't know.
Well, it's
but they seem to be able to communicate.
She communicates. He understands her. Why I laugh about it is it's in Valley Girl accent.
Yes, but no, I do bring it. Some sissies said it's not great. So hopefully they can at least communicate, because
it's not Clayton. Who is very, very fluent. Yeah,
but they've got a lot. They've got a lot of road to hoe.
Did you see even Sophie, because they lived in Mexico? Sophie spoke Spanish to Manuel, asking him about something. And then Annalie, of course, spoke Spanish.
That's because Americans are one of the only country that only learn one
language. We really don't want to.
Because we're,
it's
a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. So later on, and after that, Stacy, they're leaving, and she's like, maybe there is hope for that grandbaby. And I was like, well, fuck. Jasmine just 180 that.
Get Shaun Robinson just left going, we did it, guys. Finally, 10 years.
They'll be fighting and fucking that tonight. But it may have unlocked something in her mom. That I was really happy about. Ashley's going to go back to being Ashley tomorrow.
If they decide to have children, That's where a lot of this is going to come up because he's going to want to raise kids one way. She's going to want to raise her children, if they're in the U.S., who are Black in the U.S. another. Like there's going to be a lot of hardship for them if they have kids.
I agree.
Because they parent differently, I bet.
Yeah. they're no, I was telling you, I'm saying that their values are extremely different.
They are, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see this lasting. I really I'm going to enjoy them on Happily Ever After, but when we get down to brass tacks after the blooms fall off the rose a couple years, I think they'll realize that there's not a lot keeping them together unless they have children. I really hope they don't have children for a couple of years at least. Let's hope so.
Poodle, would you eat guinea pig? Would you?
I don't think I would. I do not love these viewers' questions. I don't like this segment.
This is a new thing.
I don't like the rabble being asked to be.
Somebody named Millie in Nebraska got to ask a question. I don't know where they even found these people.
The first question, let me just tell you, the first question about Sophie, when you're in a relationship, how do you shut off your bi side? This isn't actually an offensive question.
Yeah,
it implies bisexuals are raging sexual monsters who can't turn off their attraction, their unbearable attraction for either sex when they're in a relationship. And she said, Sophie handled it very well. She's like, but if you're a man or woman in a relationship, it's just about loyalty. They just don't go fuck another woman. But I think the question basically said, like, these bisexuals, you got to watch them real close.
Someone said, Carl, I just submitted a question to that Shaun Robinson
about them sneaky bisexuals.
About them sneaky bisexuals, kind of like your cousin Harvey. So I bet we're going to find out if he can really turn that off or not.
He was with the woman for a while, but the bi side took over. He was just cheating her with Wardell.
This is what happens when men do theater.
Yeah, that was an offensive question.
It was an offensive question. I agree. I wrote that as well. I was like, that's not good, 90 Day.
Yeah, I don't think we need. And then two other people from the UK chimed in who looked like cartoon characters.
They really did.
And they like, have you had guinea pig again? I'm not here to say that it shouldn't be fun, but it felt like questions for sport, and the cast didn't. I mean, this is their real fucking lives. And it felt like it
felt a little bit like watching a celebrity who doesn't really want to talk and wants to talk about these kind of inane questions, like a press junket. And they talk about guinea pig. Ashley did it. Annalie, she loves them, but she would never eat Clayton's. Clayton can't do it. Millie in Nebraska says, would you have a kid with someone besides your current 90-day fiance? Who the fuck is going to answer this on that couch?
It's just,
and then it becomes this weird thing of Nikki pointing to Jasmine. It's people that are never going to have this in real life. It's never. Rob, again, is the only one that was like, or Sam is the only one who's like, yeah, I'd fuck everybody here because I'm having sex now. I'm going to fuck anybody here. Woo, got an alien? My dad will fuck him too.
It just felt a little exploitive. And not in the way that we enjoy.
Yeah, like when Sophie chose Yara, what was going to happen? That Yara walks in and Shaun Robinson says, and now you're going to fuck her in front of us.
And Yara's like, yes, sure, let's Jovi, you're okay with me hooking up with her?
Jovi, I'm going to fuck Sophie, Jovi.
Yara, I want to watch that. Can I watch you make out with Sophie? Hey, man, she's just gonna like bang this chick, okay?
I gotta say, her Instagram, she's getting funnier and funnier on her Instagram.
Who, Yara?
Yara, she does like funny meme shit. It's funny.
They're
funny.
She's found her way to being an influencer. Some of them do it.
We're not doing a show in New Orleans. We tried.
Kim Bali is trying to do.
I love her. I want to support her all that I can.
You gotta wear your. I use this like this is for older people who really
I love this cleanser. This cleanser is for bomb. It's my super favorite cleanser. You just put a little bit in your hand like this. Here, and you rub your face, and then
great
look at
for
that.
older, aged people.
Right, Shannon? I want all the good things for Kim Bali.
I know.
I
it's
love
just,
her.
She's so awkward.
We're not going to San Diego, but if we were,
I would
love it.
have her.
Oh,
I've made a 180 on her. She's harmless.
yeah, she's fun.
Let's talk about Gino and Jasmine. This started out really well, and like all of their scenes, turned into tears and fighting. And she became. We went from therapist Jasmine or Dr. Jasmine to Mrs. Bitch.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
We mentioned a little bit about the wedding dress, the money paying for the butt implants, and she's like, the only thing I regret is I didn't get bigger. That is the thing about Jasmine. She refuses to be shamed by anyone. It's my favorite part about her.
It is.
And she said, I'm going to take a pic of Sophie's butt.
Gino even says, I like him big.
I like it big. And Gino says he is still upset about Dane paying for it, but he's forgiven her. And later on, they're talking about when you were mad at, I think Rob said this, when you were mad at Gino,
Rob says when you talk about he said you're trying to say your ex, but basically Rob says, he doesn't say it this way, but basically says you weaponize your ex when you're mad, and you say really, because of course Rob really is going to the next men's rights conference. He's like, you say hurtful things, which she says horrible things to him.
Yeah.
And that's what Jasmine said. I say it because I'm a bitch and I want to trigger him.
And you know what?
I have anger management issues.
The honesty there is staggering. Now, part of it is staggering because she knows it and she isn't. Maybe she's working on it. Let's hope she is.
I'm going to say, though, I got to call her. Jasmine said now for a while, I have anger management issues. Then we need to see you taking
your therapy
action.
Ain't no working.
Yeah. And Gino, that affects Gino's dick when she's mean to him.
It affects my ability for intimacy. And he brings that up so much. He's like, see, this what you're doing right here. That makes it harder for me to have sex with you.
He does say that.
And she says, well, Gino talks about his exes too. That's why I did it. So Jasmine is slowly starting to turn into her version of Mr. Hyde.
Because Shaun even says, you said your biggest regret was not having sex with Dane.
Yeah. And y'all, you can see her. She's starting to twitch like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
She's literally, it's like when a doctor will take off their glasses, or like in a porn movie, the nurse will take off their glasses. Jasmine is shaken. She so wants to lash out.
She does. Wow, you're still watching porn movies where the nurse takes off their glasses?
I gave that as an example. I don't watch porn movies with nurses anyway.
Not male nurses? They don't have Grey's Anatomy?
How has someone not made that? So then they bring up the lip gloss, and Jasmine's lips just get real tight. And she's like, what makes you so upset? She's like, it was fresh.
However, when they ask, I kind of agree with Jasmine a little bit, but when they ask, Gino says that he's had this car for 6.5 years before he met, and it's somebody else's lip gloss. When Shaun said, does everyone here think that's plausible? Almost all of them raised their hands, except for Sam, who thought it was sketchy.
I think it's plausible. I agree.
I wanted to see the lip gloss too, because an old lip gloss. If it's an old lip gloss, I would want it if it looked new.
So I believe him when he says, ever since he even qualified, he's like, ever since I've been seeing you, there have been no women. I agree with that. I believe that. I don't think he would cheat on her. I think he's too afraid of her.
I think he's too afraid of her. Yeah, I do agree
Also,
with that.
He knows he will never get anyone better than that. And Gino lives in scarcity. He knows.
And he's right. He's right. And let's talk about what really just, I don't know, was just, it was just like a feather that lightly fell on top of the atomic bomb and pressed the button.
The bachelor party. He had strippers. And she said, but my divorce party, we had a stripper. And she's like, but it wasn't a fucking strip club.
Yeah, what did she say? I didn't blank enter a strip club. I didn't fucking enter.
She did not go into a club.
So they showed the video of this.
Yeah. But do you know why? It has nothing to do with the stripper. It was the strip club because his ex worked there.
Which is what we find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They show the video. And Poodle, I just want you to, this isn't a theater as much. This is just for people on the intimate portrait tier. I just want you to, I wish you had your Gino hat with you, or bald cap, but oh well. I just want to, I want you to recreate Gino's face as they're watching the video. And I'm going to be the video. Are you ready?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm going back to 0.
Okay.
Here we go. And I'm gonna my eyes are open to Gino. Wow. Wow.
I'm with a woman. A woman's dancing on a pole. Remember, Jasmine's looking at you. Jasmine's looking at you. I'm dancing.
Hey, those are some nice globes. She's a big girl.
She's upside down on you now. You got coochie in your face. Coochie in your face.
Oh, that's a bad girl. No, Jasmine's gonna hate this.
Gino.
Oh no, I'm imagining Jasmine's face. I can see her coming for me in the dark. Oh no. Oh, but there are 2 big boobies in front of me. I like them big. I like the big globes.
Watching him watch that was one of the funniest things I've seen.
It was like this. He did not know what to do.
It titillated him.
Filmed.
It titillated and terrified him.
Yeah. And
what a Clayton, I will say, boy, Clayton showed that he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah. He's been a dick so far on the tell-all.
No, he laughed at her when she's upset and crying.
Yeah, he's been a dick. And at one point, Justin's like, well, what, did you go home and fuck the wife and have sex after? And she's like, she wasn't.
Yeah, because you have good energy. That's what Jeff Foxworthy does with me. We go to strippers and then fuck people.
You might be a Moldovan.
You might be, yes. Here is your sign.
What a country. It's like in the middle of Yakov Smirnoff and Jeff Foxworthy.
Yes.
So, y'all, then I don't know how they found this woman.
I don't know how
Shaun says, now, live from Canton, Michigan, we have Daisy, which I'm pretty sure is not her name.
Shocker.
And I wrote down, stop this now.
I actually wrote, oh my God. And then I texted everybody on our team when I watched this. I was like, you guys.
I think they were trying to push Jasmine over the edge because this is when I went, this is a little cruel. Because they know Jasmine's going to get triggered. They know. And so they brought her and she's like, yeah, he was way awkward. He came in and, he was a funny looking guy. He wouldn't take off his hat. And, but I was kind of whooped him and go, hada, just showed him my boobies. And, he tried to, and then Jasmine just starts screaming.
And she just goes, and screams. And then she stands up and she says, I would have never married you if I had seen that, Gino. Never. And then she says, you'll never look at me that way, Gino.
Oh, she's very upset.
I never feel desire, Gino. And they cut to Daisy and she's just like, awkward.
Did I say something? You know, I got to go back on the pole in 10 minutes. So I got to take a, you know, you mind if I gotta, and also I gotta take a crap. So I should go there now.
She's feeling a little full.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, oh, I guess I touched a nerve there.
It's
but
it's too much, and I enjoyed it.
She did say, "You'll never compliment me that way." She's just, and everyone on stage is kind of like, how did we get here?
She walks away. She's
got a
crying. Barbie
Nikki,
runs after her. Nikki runs after her, and
she
I'm sorry, but
into Nikki's tool.
But I gotta say, like, Nikki does look pretty. The dress is too much, but the dress is beautiful. I think it's Oscars, not. But when she got up to like be serious and comfort her, and you see her just kind of floating, I was like, this is stupid. This is dumb.
It truly was a moment when they brought out that stripper. I just said, first of all, this is when this tell-all became a circus. And it felt gotcha, and then the saddest thing is I feel like they were trying to make Jasmine break, and I don't know. It was funny, but at the same time, I'm like, to what end?
And you're gonna say it's not one of the better tell-alls you've seen in a long time?
I didn't say that. I can still have ethical issues. But ethics are a dime a dozen in this business.
Boy, they sure are. But tops are hard to find.
That's the fucking truth, especially good ones.
Ugh. All right, everybody. That's the show. What a great tell-all. I'm excited for part 2.
Yeah, we only have 2. This time. I think that's better.
Unlike what we're hearing for the single life, y'all. Well, I don't think we can announce yet.
Well, yeah, but remember, those are only 1-hour episodes.
It's true. This is
true.
It's true. All right. Okay, everybody, go to realitygaze.com. Go to our Linktree link. Go to realitygaze or patreon.com/realitygaze to find us for all things Maddie and Poodle, or just clowns, just gay. I wish people could Google gay clowns, and then we would come up.
I don't think you want to. I think you're going to find a subset of porn that you don't want to see. Not that I've done it.
Not that you, I don't go. I wonder if I go to gayclowns.com. Oh, that site's not secure. Never mind. Don't go there. Don't go there.
Get spam.
You're going to get some 4chan shit. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Until then, we call these people. Oh, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or we appreciate that very much. We call these people lonely hearts because aren't we all just lonely hearts looking for love in all the wrong places, Poodle?
Yeah. And if you had known that I'm going on the pole in about 20 minutes because Shanice is in front of me.
Hey, Daisy, your kid's calling. He's sick again at school.
Brooklyn's sick. Another, I got an original name for my kid. All right, I'm just going to go give a lap dance. I'm going to go drop some kids off at the pool. And I'll be there in 2 shakes of a lambs. Okay, bye.